Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my latest mountain biking adventure video. My name is Russell, aka EM Fresh for Fresh to Extreme, and I'm stoked to have my buddies Adam, Doug, and Jimmy with me for this ride at the Q, or the Quemahoning Reservoir. So what is the Q? Okay, like I said before, the Q is just short for the Quemahoning Reservoir, and it is a man-made lake located in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. It was created in 1952 by the Cumbria Somerset Authority, or the CSA, to provide water for industrial use, flood control, and recreation. The reservoir covers an area of about 900 acres and has a maximum depth of 60 feet. Well, anyway, that's your short history lesson. But as you see Adam riding up this hill here, I'm going to tell you something eerie that I found out about this reservoir here. Well, the legend has it that this reservoir at the bottom of the lake has a lost Indian city, or Native American city, to be politically correct, that is. And I forget the name of the Native American tribe. I think it's the Kickin' Tappin' tribe. But somehow their lake mysteriously, or their town got mysteriously covered by this reservoir. And I'm not going to go into that right now. But anyway, as you can see here, we are riding what is called Sweet 16. And I'm taking my time. The ground is really wet. And I always go a little bit slower when I ride in a new place, just to get a feel of how the ground and the traction is. You can see everyone left me behind. I think they're used to riding this. And I'm basically using their confidence as a guide. And so, look, they're waiting there. But I think there's a tree down. Actually, there's a lot of trees down, as you will see. So there's Jimmy there. And there's a lot of fast sections in this, on this trail. But what we're doing is we're headed to the other side, which is basically the downhill rocky section, which is a lot of fun, but also breaks the monotony of this trail here. But anyway, as you can see, trees down, there's a lot of little ruts. And someone asked me in the comments again, I think I made a video about this, is why my Fox 38 fork has orange dials on them. And the reason why it has orange dials is because I had sent it into the Fox factory in Brevard, North Carolina. And they had, or Fletcher, North Carolina, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused with DuPont. And they did a tune-up on my fork, and I told them that it didn't feel quite right, and then they took my weight down, and they took the name of the bike, okay, which I have a S-Works Turbo Levo, and I guess they have a little recipe or formula that they can do, and then they re-valved or re-shimmed the 38, and it feels just amazing right now. It doesn't even feel like the fork that it feels like a totally different bicycle. So I'm very happy with this. Now here's a little narrow trail. As you can see, we all have turbo levos. I think Jimmy has one. They're all pretty much souped up. And point to note, if you ride with us, you got to have an e-bike if you ride with us on some of these trails here. When I guess what I'm saying is, if the majority of the people riding have e-bikes, everyone needs to have an e-bike. It's not very fun if only one person has like a push or Amish bike, they call it. You can see here, it looks like lots of trees are falling down, or someone has chopped some trees down here. But for the most part, it's pretty pleasant. It's a nice day. Nice not to be as cold as it's been. But kind of there's some slick areas here as well. I'm not going to show all the times that I stopped to take a stick out of my derailleur. But I think I stopped a total of 7 times to get sticks out of my derailleur. And as you all, oh, there it is right there, as you can see. As you can see there, or as you know, right now on the YouTube, you follow Rock Shocks. They come out with another derailleur that's supposed to stop that from happening, but it doesn't, as you can see. Now, I don't have the new one, but the way they were showing it, they created a problem that wasn't really a problem and solved it. They were showing like a picture of the derailleur, like I forget what they call it, what's that circular piece called inside the derailleurs? I forget what it's called, the wheel. But they stuck a stick in it and then it's kept spinning. But I've never had that problem with the stick getting stuck in that little holes of the wheel there on the derailleur cage. But anyways, I'm just tired of those sticks getting caught in there. I think this year, if you watch some of my other videos, I don't think I put any of those on here. Oh, as you can see, a stick popped me in the face and then it went right back into where? My derailleur. It's kind of weird. I'm not having a bad look at that. a big stick got in there. I have like the worst luck. It's just odd that it just flew. Doug went right on that stick and it flew right into my derailleur. That was a big stick too. Yeah, I had 18, or I had to replace my derailleur 4 times this year because it broke off. I just wish there was another option other than a derailleur. I think the derailleur is stupid. Efficient, yes. Especially, I mean, I don't think the derailleur is stupid, but I mean, for like if you're riding on gravel for the most part, as long as there's no sticks, and it's not stupid like if you're riding just to, to work or something, or commuting. But when you're out here riding these trails, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that can get caught up in the derailleur and mess you up. I'm trying to show some of the fast parts here, but I think we're all taking it easy because of how slick it is in most places here. Off to the left there, you can see part of the reservoir. It's quite large, actually. I think we almost did, I believe, 20 miles, I believe. You wouldn't believe how long or how far around this derailleur is. Or not, excuse me, when I say derailleur. You can tell I'm thinking about it because I spent $1,800 in new derailleurs this year. Not the derailleur hanger. I never had a problem with the derailleur hanger being bent. It's just that little sticks just popping right up in that derailleur. And the weird part only happens on this Turbo Lebo. Maybe it's because it has a 27-inch tire in the back, or a mullet. It's because it's 29er in the front and 27.5 in the back. But anyways, it's about to get real here in a second. And I think Adam did a funny thing. When he was riding, luckily he did a belly flop with his bike. And Adam has more. He's the only person I know that has his bike more souped up than I do. I didn't think you could do that, but he does. He's actually not riding a Lebo. He's riding a Kenevo. I think it has 180 millimeters of travel, front and rear. And so I'm going to talk about his bike because I think I want a Kenevo, but I have too many bikes as it is. Don't really need it. But it's just cool to see him ride it. He's going really fast. He's just eating up everything. I think the travel on my Lebo is only 150, and I have a 160 fork on it. I had a 170 fork on it, and then I put the Cascade Components link on it, and it worked out really well for a while. The link, that is, on the back. But it started to make a clicking sound. Just like on my high tower, I put that Cascade Components link on it, and after like a few months, it started to make a clicking sound. And I know what that sound means. That means that your shock is about to break because it happened on my my first Turbo Levo, my 2018 Turbo Levo, the one that started it all, and it broke my coil off of it. I don't really ride that bike anymore, but my wife says I should sell it, but it's it's a more of a nostalgic thing, a memento. It has emotional value because I lost all my weight on it riding that bicycle, that particular e-bike anyway. Tune of 50 pounds to be exact. It just got me where I needed to be so I could ride the pedal bikes more easily. And if you can, subscribe to my channel because I have got some new bikes. I'm starting to try new disciplines out. I've got bought a gravel bike, and I bought an XC bike from Revel Bikes, the Revel Ranger, and I bought the Cannondale Topstone. I think it's a Topstone 3. It wasn't a top of the line because the reason why I didn't buy the top of the line one on that one is because I always replace all the parts out. They're not very durable. And so I made sure that I got the best frame. So it was a choice it's a tough choice between the Trek, which is my bike of choice, like my brand of choice because it just fits me perfectly. But I looked at the Topstone and it has a rear suspension. The Topstone is a gravel bike, by the way. It's not a mountain bike. And it had all the parts that the Checkpoint had, and the Checkpoint was almost $7,000. And then my Cannondale was only $3,000, had the same exact parts. And I think my local bike shop, and I'll give them a shout out here, changed my tires out. Thank you. To a better tire without me even requesting it. Thank you, Grant, if you're watching. He's probably not watching. He's probably out riding. That's what I figured out with most of these videos. Most bikers ain't watching these videos, like true ones. They're actually out riding. And but anyway, but thanks Pathfinder in Morgantown for hooking me up with those Ramblers. I think they're the new Ramblers with the silk siding on them, and they're really, really light and it's really, really fast. I never went so fast on a bike in my life. I think I hit my top speed of 25 miles per hour, and I held it for like a good 30 seconds. But I got a long way to go to hold, 25 miles per hour for 30 minutes like those pros do. Don't think I'll ever do that. I think I'm getting too old, but it's still fun to ride and stay in shape. But anyway, you see Adam here navigating the area smartly, coolly. And he has on his shot, I'm going to talk about his bike. Actually, on one of these videos, if I can get him to do it, I'll let him talk about his bike so you can see exactly what it is. Matter of fact, I'll do that with every person I ride with. So I'm to buy their bicycle. Yeah, so I think I ran out of money. I'm like in super amounts of debt. My wife is like, nope. You better ask Adam to ride his bike if you want another bike, is what she said. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, he has everything on his bike. He has a EXT Racing shock on the front. He's got a new Fox 38 on the front. I was trying to sell him my older one, but he didn't want it. So he has to be so bougie and get the best stuff for his bike, which is what I do too. So I didn't blame him. No hard feelings. No hard feelings, AC. But anyway, if you want to check out AC's channel, he has some videos on there as well. Just I put it in the comments, his video or his YouTube channel in the comments. He has an Instagram. I think he's trying to start one up. Go support him. You'll see a lot more of him in my videos. Trying to help some my buddies out here. Because they're much better riders. I'm riding it. You guys think I'm a pro, but these guys are the reason why I'm a pro. I'm riding with Adam and Doug, and then Jimmy there, and they were like really fast. I'm not fast at all. Matter of fact, I think I'm holding Doug up. I think he won't admit it, but he's like, "Oh, see what you hurry up, man." No, he's not like that. He's a pretty cool guy. But what was I saying? Anyway, we're on the far side. We're headed almost back to the car. Not quite. I think we have another 10 miles or so. This is long. It's a long. See that tree there? You don't want one of those jokers to fall on top of you. You get smashed. These trees are heavy. We tried to move a few trees. I think Doug moved the tree by himself. That's a strong guy right there. Anyway, see Adam leaving me in the dust. I don't know how he goes so fast. Like, he's not pedaling. I was watching another guy on YouTube. He's a gravel racer. I'm watching a gravel racer. And he's pretty technical. I think his name is Dave Johnson or something. I think that's his name. I think he's one of the top 20 racers in the world. And he's talking about drag. So I realized, even when I'm riding my downhill bike, there's a point where I'm with everyone and they just leave me in the dust. They're not pedaling, they just go. And then I realized, after watching his video, that it's called drag. So anything after 16 miles per hour, okay, this is just the earth, okay, the earth physics. You develop drag, okay. Anything below that, your tires don't matter, how fast you go, your weight doesn't matter. But once you hit 16 miles per hour, 15, 16 miles per hour, you start getting this drag and it affects you. And so today, you won't see the video today, but I was riding a gravel bike and I tested this area out. I put on some spandex to see my big fat legs and butt. I was kind of embarrassed. I need to lose some more weight to get down. But anyway, and I tested out and I was able to go really fast. There was nothing holding me back. So I think I wear a lot of clothing. See, I have that big old jacket on. Everyone else's stuff is very, tighter to them. So I think that's how he leaves me in the dust. And that's why, like, when I'm riding, I just seem to not go anywhere after once I reach that speed. Or I have to pedal really hard, which actually makes it worse. And so also another thing, the tires. I think I'm riding with the DHR or DHF, the Maxxis DHF downhill front, and then a DHR2, that means downhill rear, version 2 for Maxxis on this. And I have DH casing, so I know they're really heavy. So this, Dylan, that's his name, Dylan Johnson. Yeah, he said your tires make a big difference, and I think these tires are overkill. I think most tires are riding with overkill. Like, you don't need DH tire unless you're riding something like Windrock. Even snowshoe, you don't really need that. I think you can just get away with double down. And I rode my Slash at snowshoe, which is pretty bad with rocks, but I've never had any flats or anything. I never had any flats on the EXO Plus casing, as a matter of fact. I had EXO casing on my high tower, and I put some Tannus armor in it, but in a lot of green slime. I forget what it's called, the name. I just call it green slime. It's all green for the tubeless sealant. And that thing looked like Swiss cheese, but it never broke the seal. I was playing with fire. I eventually replaced them with the D8 double down Assegai in the front and DHR and the 2 double down in the back. And so, but I think that's still overkill. I think I could get away with EXO Plus without any problem. But anyway, here we go. We're hitting the rocky section. This gets really gnarly here and technical, but it's still fun though. And a shout out to the trail crew here for keeping these trails nice. I don't know if they are actually doing it or maybe just people riding on it. Another point to note, I didn't realize is that and we can have a moment of silence for the Flight 93 from the towers. I know it's not September 11th, but I remember when I was in the military myself and 9/11, I was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then the plane crashed into the World Trade Centers towers, the towers. I think they call it Twin Towers. But anyway, one of the planes just crashed right up the road, and they have a memorial for it. I forgot to take pictures of it, but I mean, you don't need to take pictures of that. It's just very, very sad. Matter of fact, when I came here, I felt the spirit of sadness. When I was right, you can feel like there's something here. It's just something, sad. you know, and that's what it was. I didn't realize it was till I talked to Doug. He said, yeah, the Flight 93 got crashed right up the road here. They have a memorial and everything for him. And I'm like, wow, that's what I felt, you know. And so, yeah, Doug's there in the green there, the pretty blue Turbo Lebo and the gold handlebars from Race Face. Those are sick. Okay, it's a lot of water you see. This is not like, it looks almost the same almost when you're riding to some of these areas here, but we're going through this. And just don't think just because you have a motor, yeah, it does make it easy. I'm not going to lie. It does make it easier, but I mean, what it only does, Specialized does, is only make it so you can ride farther, but your legs will get tired. Like, for example, if you ride 20, say you were to ride 10 miles on your regular bike, and then you switch over to a Turbo Lebo and you have it on full turbo, you can ride 4 times farther, but that's 40 miles. See what I'm saying? But you'll get tired. You'll be just as tired as you were if you were just pedaling it without a motor on it. But they have one of the best algorithms for pedaling. I think it's around 80, 60 RPM, and they tune it around there. If you keep there, you can really, you know, conserve your battery and still go really, really fast, which is what I found out today when I was riding. I usually just muscle it, but I found I was working against myself too hard. And I just turned my gear on a higher gear, or a lower gear, excuse me, and so I can keep that 60-80% pace. Anyway, some little fast parts here, and yeah, this is very, very nice trails. Glad I came. I started not to go. I started to bail out, but I'm glad spending time with my buddies here. And I think it's the second or third time I rode with Doug here, and just good people all around. And if you stay tuned, watch my other videos, we'll have another one that another trail I've never ridden for. There's a lot of trails around Pennsylvania and West Virginia, which is where I live, but these guys live, you know, nearby in Pittsburgh. From Pittsburgh to Morgantown, West Virginia is where I live. And so they are showing me these hidden places where they are, where no one really goes to, but they're there, you know. You can see where no one's out here, but it's very nice. And some places I'm going to stop telling you guys where they are. Like, I know Cooper's Rock, for example, that's where I ride all the time. And now it's all crowded now because I think everyone's been looking at my videos, and now I have no place to ride. Got hikers and everything out there, and what's cool is that people are recognizing me. Hey, aren't you the guy on the YouTube? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's me, you know. But they're hiking in there. Their dogs all over the way, all the place. But that's still cool, though. At least they're out hiking. And but I can't tell you guys the secret spots no more, you know, where to ride at, because I won't be able to ride without, or put the speed on, lay down the speed, because y'all be in the way when I'm riding. And I'm just joking. I didn't go that fast anyway. Just good to be out healthy and out riding is the goal here. Okay, and I apologize again if it seems like I'm bragging, but as you can see, there's not just me. The Adam and Doug, their bikes are souped up more than mine. You know, so that's what we do. It's just a recreational thing, activity that we can do together. It's just good, just very good times. Good times. He's happy to be alive and be alive at a time where they actually have these e-bikes. So I honestly think I would probably have had a heart attack by now. And I know it's funny, but laughing, without these bikes, these e-bikes and the regular bikes, and the technology is what I'm saying. Like the technology, I think I wouldn't be here with you today. I just honestly think so. And I thank the engineers, whoever designed this. Thank God and the engineers that He created you to. That if you're watching Specialized and Trek and all those companies, you know, keep going. I try to support all the bike manufacturers, you know, as much as I can. I know I'm only one buyer, but I know, you know, that, you know, I can't buy 1 million bicycles for everybody, but, you know, just like the communities I go into, I don't bring my own food. I try to when me and my wife go to different places, we try to support the restaurants and the stores and the bike shops, and even the bike shops that we have in our town. I try to support them all because, even though I can do some maintenance now, so some things I can do, and I don't want those guys to be gone because, sometimes I mess up and I need help. And so it's good to support your local bike shops and restaurants and stuff like that. You don't have to bring your own peanut butter and jelly sandwich every single time. Go ahead and help them out, because when you need them, when you don't need them, you'll need them, basically. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is drawing to a close. If I haven't thanked you for before, thank you for subscribing. Stay tuned for some more videos. And if you live in the Morgantown area or Pittsburgh area, stay tuned for some restaurant reviews that we go to when we ride or we go out in the town. Me and my my wife there, Jerry, you'll see her doing some videos on that. She does doing a very good job. I didn't realize she uploaded them. And I said, why are you messing up my YouTube channel with all your restaurant videos? I gotta watch her trying to take over my stardom and fame. But anyway, it turned out pretty good. I actually got more views than I do. She's more pleasant to look at. Anyway, and a better voice, better speaking voice. Okay. But anyway, we're back at the parking lot and we're done. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Check out some other videos. Support Adam's channel. Go to his channels. Links in the description. Until next time.